People sometimes ask me about spyware and viruses. How do I get rid of them? How do I prevent them from getting on my computer? Sometimes they ask me, like, my Norton antivirus is running out. Do I need to really buy more of that? So in this video, I'm going to show you how to take care of all of that for free using Malwarebytes free, which is what I use to keep all that junk off of my computer. One thing to note up front is that Malwarebytes free does not automatically scan your computer. So if you want a program that'll automatically just be scanning all the time, you'll probably have to pay for that. This one's nice because it's very light. It doesn't use up all your resources on your computer. And to run a scan, it's very easy. I do it about once a month on my computers. You just load Malwarebytes and then you hit the scan button and then it does it. Another thing is this video is only for people with Windows XP or newer. So if you have a Mac or a Chromebook, this doesn't apply. You can stop watching. And this only applies to like Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows Vista, and Windows XP. If you have any older Windows, this also doesn't apply. How this is going to work is down in the description, look for your particular version of Windows that you have, either Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7, or Windows XP, and then just jump to that specific time code in the video. You don't want to sit through this whole video because it's just doing the same thing on different versions of Windows. It'd be really boring. So let's get started with Windows 10. Okay. So what we're going to do first is we're going to look at the system requirements for the latest version of Malwarebytes. So you can also find this link in the description. Pull it up here. So here we are. So this latest version works with Windows 10, 8, 8.1, and 7 Service Pack 1. If you have a computer that came with Windows 10, you're most likely good. Everything should work except this particular one mentioned here. It says ARM-based Windows 10 PCs such as Surface Pro X are not currently supported. So if you have that, you can turn off the video. If your computer came with Windows 10, you should meet all of these requirements. If it was a really old computer that you upgraded to Windows 10, you might have to look at these more closely. So with that out of the way, let's get started. So what we need to do is get a copy of Malwarebytes. So I have that link also in the description. I'm going to pull it here and then plug it into my browser, and that should open the download dialog. Little window popped up. I'm going to save that. I'm just going to put it in my downloads folder. I already have it, so I got a little error there. And then once that's done, another window might pop up. You can just hit run or open. If you can't find where you put it, just hit Control-J on most browsers. It will open all the things you've downloaded recently. So I'm going to follow along. We're going to do personal computer and hit the install button. Okay. A little window should pop up. There's also a little, you can see the programs running in the background here. There's a little blue M. Get started. Malwarebytes Premium. Do I want to buy it now? Activate license? Maybe later. And have you heard News, safety tips, and exclusive offers just by entering your email? No thanks. Surf safer and smarter. Malwarebytes browser guard. Free browser extension that blocks ads, trackers, and tech support scams. Maybe later. Okay, so now mine says get premium to stop infections before they happen. So this is a little ad for me to upgrade to the premium one. When you install Malwarebytes, what it's probably going to say is something like, you're protected with a 14-day trial. If you see that, we want to go into settings here, the little gear icon, and then go to the account section of settings, and then hit the little link that says deactivate. The reason we do that is that after the 14 days, this program will start annoying you with notifications that your trial period has ended and that you need to upgrade to receive protection and all that stuff. So we're just going to deactivate it now. And then when you go back out to the main screen, it's going to have this basically this little ad, and that should be all of the annoyance you'll get with this free version. While we're in settings, let's go over to security and then tweak some of these settings. So Windows startup. Launch Malwarebytes in the background when Windows starts up. I like to do that because it's able to update when it's running. So it'll update automatically and keep itself up to date. But if your computer slows down a lot at startup, you might want to uncheck that. I want to check scan for rootkits. They're a particular type of particularly nasty type of malware, and it doesn't take long to scan for them, so I'm not sure why it's not checked by default. Next, let's go over to notifications, and let's not show notifications in the Windows notification area. And anything else, I think. Oh, do you want to automatically download and install updates? I like to keep that checked. Notify me when a new major version becomes available. I also like to keep that checked because I don't want it to get too outdated. Okay, we're good on settings, so now the only thing left to do is hit scan. So this will check for updates, scan for rootkits, all this good stuff. I'm not going to do this now. So once you have it installed, I recommend to run a scan, fire up Malwarebytes and hit the scan button about once a month. If you spend a lot of time on sketchy websites, you might want to increase the frequency with which you run a scan. But other than that, you're good to go. Thanks for watching. So now on to Windows 8. While Windows 8 is loading, let's pull up our system requirements for Malwarebytes. Let's see, here we are. So this version, the latest version of Malwarebytes, is supported by Windows 8.1 and Windows 8. If your computer came with those versions of Windows, you should be good with all these other requirements. If your computer was really old and you upgraded to Windows 8 or Windows 8.1, you might want to look through these more carefully to see if this will actually work for you. Okay, hopefully Windows 8 is loaded. Nope. Oh, wait, some more. There we are. Okay, so to install Malwarebytes on Windows 8, we need to run Internet Explorer. And we need to go get the download link, which is down in the description. So we want, for Windows 8 or 8.1, we want Malwarebytes 4. So we're going to plug that in here, and that should open a downloads dialog. Here it is. Do we want to run, save? We're going to save it. And then after it's done, we can hit run or open, depending on your browser. If you lost it and you don't know where that file went in your browser, just hit Control J. It should open, in most browsers, that'll open the list of your downloads, your recent downloads. I'm just going to hit run in this one because that didn't work. Okay. Do you want to allow the following program to make changes to this computer? Of course, we want to install Malwarebytes. Okay. We want a personal computer. Hit the install button. And now we wait. Okay. Here's the... now after the install, the program opens up automatically. We get this little intro thing. There's also a little program that's running in the background, the little blue M. So let's get started. Malwarebytes Premium stops infections before they happen. Do I want to buy it now? Activate the license? Maybe later. Have you heard? News, safety tips, and exclusive offers. Just enter your email. No. Have you heard Malwarebytes Browser Guard, a free browser extension that blocks ads, ad trackers, and tech support scams? Maybe later. Okay, so here's Malwarebytes. Mine says, get premium to stop infections. It has a little ad for the premium. Now, when you first install it, it will probably say, you're protected. You have 14 days left of your premium trial or whatever. So if yours says that, you want to go up to settings and then over to the account section of settings. And there should be a little link to deactivate. That's what you want to do. The reason we do that is that after the 14-day trial, it will start sending notifications to your computer and annoying you into upgrading to premium. It'll say, your protection is running out, you've got to upgrade. But we don't want all of those annoying things. We just want the free program. After you do that, you'll notice the top of your Malwarebytes will look like this. It'll have a little ad for premium. And that's much better than annoying notifications. So go back into settings and let's tweak a few things first. Launch Malwarebytes in the background when Windows starts up over in the security section. I kind of like that because then the program can update automatically. But if it slows down your computer too much, every time your computer starts up, just turn that off. I like to tick the scan for rootkits toggle. Those are a particularly nasty type of malware that it's really quick to scan for. I'm not sure why it's not checked by default. Let's go over to notifications. Show all notifications in the Windows notification area. No. The fewer notifications, the better. And automatically download and install updates. I like to check that. You don't have to. It will check for updates when you run a scan, so either way. Notify me when a new version becomes available. I kind of like that. If you don't, you can uncheck it. Okay, so all our settings are set. The next thing to do is scan. So now it's checking for updates, scanning for rootkits, all these great things. You're good to go. Now for me, I like to fire up Malwarebytes and hit that scan button about once a month. If you spend a lot of time on sketchy websites, you might want to do that more frequently than once a month. So now on to Windows 7. So Let me fire up Windows 7. Where did I put that? Here we go. And while that's loading, let's look up the system requirements for Windows 7. So down in the description, there's a link to the system requirements for the latest version of Malwarebytes, which is Malwarebytes 4. And here they are. It says Windows 7 SP1. So that stands for Service Pack 1. So I'll show you, once we're in Windows 7, how to check whether you have Service Pack 1 or Service Pack 2 or anything like that. But if it's just Windows 7, you actually have to install some updates in order to run Malwarebytes. Okay, Windows 7 is up, so let's check what version of this is and see if we can install Malwarebytes. So to do that, we'll go to Control Panel, and then your control panel will probably look like this. If it does, just go up to View By and do Small Icons, and then head to System. And so up here in the Windows Edition section, it says Windows 7 Professional, and then down here below it says Service Pack 1. So if yours says Service Pack 2 or 3 or 1, you're good to go. If yours doesn't say anything, you probably need to go into Windows Update and download at least Service Pack 1. So to do that, go back to Control Panel and hit Windows Update. Okay, so for the rest of us, let's install Malwarebytes. So to do that, we need the download link. So it's down in the description for Malwarebytes 4, the offline installer. Oops, just copy that. And then back in Windows 7, oops, I don't know what it's doing there. Fire up Internet Explorer, or if you have a newer browser, even better, and paste that in. That should open the download dialog. So you can either just run it or we'll save it, and then once it's done, you can either run or open it. If you don't know where the file went, you can hit Control J and it'll give you a list of all the programs you've downloaded recently. We're just going to hit run. Can close this. It says, do you want to allow the following program to make changes to this computer? Of course, we're installing it. Okay, so here's the installation. We want to do it as a personal computer. Hit the install button. Okay, it's finished, so a little window should pop up. Okay, and you'll notice there's also a background program running, this little blue M down here. Let's hit Get Started, and Malwarebytes Premium. Oh wow, do you want to buy it now? Activate license? Maybe later. Have you heard news, safety tips, and exclusive offers? Just give us your email? No. Malwarebytes Browser Guard. The free browser extension that blocks ads, trackers, and tech support scams. Maybe later. Okay, so on mine, there's a little ad for Malwarebytes Premium. On yours, it might say, you're protected and there's 14 days left of your premium trial. If yours says that, go up to Settings and go to the Account section in Settings, and then there's a link that says Deactivate. You want to do that one. Deactivate. The reason we do that is that after that 14-day trial, your computer will start annoying you with notifications like, your protection has expired, you need to upgrade immediately. And that's really annoying. So once you've deactivated it, you should see the little ad up here on your Malwarebytes, and I think that little ad is much more is much better than those annoying notifications. Let's go back into settings and tweak a few things before we run a scan. Let's see, launch Malwarebytes in the background when Windows starts up here in the security section. I kind of like that because then it can update automatically, but if you don't like it or if it slows down your computer too much at startup, just untick it. Scan for rootkits, I do like to check that one because rootkits are a particularly nasty type of malware that it doesn't take long to scan for them. I don't know why it's not checked by default. Let's go over to the notification section. Show all notifications in the Windows notification area. I usually uncheck that. The fewer notifications, the better. Automatically download and install updates. I kind of like that. But it will use some of your computer's resources. Notify me when a new version becomes available. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, so let's exit settings and run a scan. So now for me, I like to fire up Malwarebytes and hit that scan button about once a month. If you spend a lot of time on sketchy websites, you might want to do that more frequently. You have it. Thanks for watching. Okay, so let's get started with Windows Vista. So the first thing we need to do is check the system requirements. Down in the link, down in the description, I have a link for the system requirements for Windows Vista. Here they are. It says here Windows Vista Service Pack 1 or later. I'll show you how to check whether or which service pack you actually have. There's also an issue with anti-ransomware protection is not supported on Windows Vista due to architectural constraints. So if you need that type of protection, if you're worried about ransomware, you might need to get different software or upgrade to a newer version of Windows. Now, if your computer came with Vista, you're probably fine with all these system requirements. If it's really old and you upgraded to Vista, you might need to look at the RAM here, see whether you have enough. Okay, so I think I have Vista fired up here somewhere. So, boy, this brings back memories. So how to check whether we have Service Pack 1 or not. We'll go to Control Panel here, and then down to System. And then up here in Windows Edition, it says your version of Vista, and then down at the bottom, it'll say something about Service Pack. Mine is Service Pack 2, so that's good. If you don't see anything here, what you'll need to do is go back to your control panel and then down at the bottom, Windows Update. So just keep doing that and restarting until you have the right service pack. Okay, so let's install Malwarebytes 3. To do that, we're going to fire up Internet Explorer. And now this is really old, so we can't just go to Malwarebytes website and download it. We actually have to type in the link here. You can find this in the description. I put an S on file. Let's try that. Okay, now continue. This website not recommended, of course. And then here it's the little dialog for download a file. So let's hit run. Or let's do save and then put it in the down. Let's just go to our downloads folder. And run Malwarebytes. Okay. An unidentified program wants to access your computer. Allow, I trust this program. Okay. So now here we're in the installation. I'm going to hit agree and install. Okay, your Malwarebytes installation is now complete. I'm going to hit finish. Okay, so up here in the corner of my screen I have the upgrade to premium. It's a little ad that wants you to upgrade. If you see something else like you're protected and there's a 14-day trial, what you want to do is go to settings and account details, and then there should be a button somewhere around here that says deactivate. The reason we do that is because after those 14 days, this program will start annoying you with your protection has run out and you're at risk and you need to upgrade. So deactivate that, and then while we're in settings, let's go over to protection and tweak some of these. So let's do the scan for rootkits. Rootkits are a particularly nasty type of malware that doesn't take long to scan for them, so I'm not sure why they're not checked by default. You want to start Malwarebytes at Windows Startup. I like doing that so it can update, but if it slows down your startup time too much, you might want to uncheck that. And then let's go over to application. Automatically download and install application component updates. I like doing that. Notify me when a full version updates are available. Sure, that's great. Show Malwarebytes notifications in the Windows system tray. No, I don't really like that. Show notifications when real-time protection settings are turned off. Definitely not. I want to turn those off because that seems annoying. Okay, and that's it for settings. Let's go back to our dashboard and hit the Scan Now button. So as you can see, it's checking updates, it's going to scan for rootkits and all this good stuff. Now on my setup, I like to fire up Malwarebytes and hit that scan button about once a month. If you spend a lot of time on sketchy websites, you might want to do that more often, or if your computer suddenly slows down and you think you might have a virus or something, just fire up Malwarebytes and hit that scan button. You should be good to go. Thanks for watching. Okay, so on to Windows XP. And while this is loading, let's go look at the system requirements for Windows XP. The latest version of Malwarebytes does not support Windows XP, so we have to install a slightly older one. And so let's check what we need here. Okay, so for this version, it does support Windows XP, but it's only Service Pack 3 or later, or 32-bit. So if you have 64-bit Windows XP, this will not work. Sorry, stop watching. And if you have anything other than Service Pack 3, you'll have to do Windows updates until you're up to Service Pack 3. So let me show you how to check which version of which service pack you have in Windows XP. we are. Oh, this brings back memories. So go into Control Panel, and your control panel might look like this. So just hit this classic view, and then go to System. So here it says Microsoft Windows XP Professional, and then down below it says Service Pack 3. So if yours says anything lower than 3, or it says nothing about service packs, you'll need to go back to your control panel and then hit this automatic updates. And you might have to restart a bunch of times and keep hitting that automatic updates in order to get up to Service Pack 3. Eventually that should work, I think. Okay, so now on the fresh install of Windows XP, it comes with a really old version of Internet Explorer, and it's so old that it doesn't even support modern websites. So to get Malwarebytes on your computer, you actually have to download it on a newer computer and then transfer it over to the Windows XP computer on like a USB flash drive or something. Or if for some reason your Windows XP has a newer browser on it, like Firefox or Chrome or something like that, then you should be able to get the download link for Malwarebytes 3 in the description, and then copy that into your newer browser and download it that way. I'm going to show you how to do it like if you had to transfer it from a flash drive. So let me just tweak my settings here a second. Make this bi-directional. And I don't actually have a flash drive, but I'm going to simulate a transfer like that. So what I'm going to do is get it on a modern browser. I'm going to find my link for Malwarebytes 3 offline installer in the description. And I'm going to head to a browser on my new computer. And this will, and once I paste that in and hit enter, it will start the download dialog. I'm going to save that file. Just save it to my downloads folder. It's giving me an error because I already downloaded it. Once that's downloaded, if you can't find it, just hit Control J on most browsers. That will open a list of all of your recent downloads. And there it is. So now I'm going to pretend I put this on a flash drive here. And I am going to drag this over to my Windows XP computer. Okay. And once I have it on my Windows XP computer, I'll just double click it. And this will start the installation process. I'm going to hit the agree and install button. It's almost done. I see there's a little version of it running in the background down here, the little blue M. Your Malwarebytes installation is now complete. Finish. Okay. Okay. So now it has a little ad here, premium features only. If yours says anything like you're protected and your 14-day trial has started, what you want to do is go into settings and then go over to account details, and there should be a little button or link or something about deactivate. You want to deactivate that free trial in order to get yourself Malwarebytes free. The reason we do that is because after those 14 days, it will start annoying you with notifications that your trial has expired and you're at risk and you need to upgrade immediately. I think that's really annoying, so I would rather just have this little tiny ad up here in the corner than have those annoying notifications all the time. Let's go back into settings and tweak a few things before we run a scan. So let's go to protection. And I want to tick this little toggle here for scan for rootkits. Rootkits are a particularly nasty type of malware. And it doesn't take long to scan for them. I'm not really sure why it's not checked by default, but it's not, so we'll just check it. Start Malwarebytes at Windows Startup. I like to do this because then it can do its updates and things like that. But if it slows down your startup too much, you can uncheck it and then just run it whenever you want to. Automatically download and install application component updates. Sure, I like to do that. Notify me when full version updates are available. I like to keep that checked, but if you don't like those notifications, turn it off. Start Malwarebytes notifications in the Windows system tray. Thinking maybe we can turn that off, we'd get even less notifications. Show notifications when real-time protection settings are turned off. Definitely turn that off. Yes, we do not want to hear about that. Okay, so with those settings tweaked, we can run a scan. So now I like to fire up Malwarebytes and hit that scan button about once a month. If you spend a lot of time on sketchy websites, you might want to do that more often, or if your computer is running really slow suddenly and you think you might have some malware, just fire up Malwarebytes, hit that scan button, and you should be good to go. That's it. Thanks for watching.